This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Here at Blue Apron, we know exactly how hectic school nights can be. That's why we created Assemble and Bake. Delicious one-pan meals that make family dinner simple. Just assemble the pre-chopped ingredients and put the pan in the oven to bake. Then you're free to help out with that last-minute diorama. Shop Assemble and Bake at BlueApron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit BlueApron.com/terms for more.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free premium delivery on any bed with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
This podcast is sponsored by AMG Logistics and in association with the Birmingham City Official Supporters Clubs. I'm your host, Craig Courtney, and we're looking forward to the next Blues game and finding out what our opposition fans think. Sit tight and enjoy the next edition of The Away End. Hi, welcome to another edition of The Away End. We go into a week where we're seeing 3 games in the space of 7 days, back to the way that we expect the Championship to be, but also with the fixture pile-ups due to FA Cup games and changes. It's going to be a big run for Birmingham. We go into the game after Saturday and what was a very hard-fought 1-1 at the Vitality Stadium. Chris Davis' side, surprise, and Ash, we'll get onto this, but we went behind. If you're a bookies, go and put your money on Birmingham going behind because it happens all the time. But we came back in front of the cameras and in the second half, we're a totally different side. Thanks to the equaliser from Patrick Roberts, we then were very much, for me, on top of the game and could have come away with 3 points had we have actually put away our opportunities. We now travel to Hillsborough with a massive following coming up. Thank you to Sheffield, first of all, because top tier given, top tier sold out. Open up half of the bottom tier, half of our bottom tier sold out, and then giving us the remainder of the bottom tier. So I think, what you're going to see behind that goal is a very, very raucous set of Birmingham fans. And let's face it, we're less than 2 hours apart. So all going to plan. And if everything's okay, the M42 and the M1 will play nicely for us and we'll be able to get to the game on time and enjoy it. Wednesday, though, go into the game after another loss. This time, though, was, I think, harder than ever because it was up against a fellow relegation team who are all fighting for their lives. With just a 1-0 loss at home, it just means the pressure continues to pile on. Henrik Pedersen, though, comes into this game looking to change that around if he can, take advantage of Birmingham's frailties, especially away from home, and a hope of 3 points. As mentioned, joined this evening by Ash from the Wednesday Week Podcast to talk us through the upcoming game and what we can expect from Wednesday. And I'm going to start off by saying, Ash, thank you very much for joining. I said it before to Dan when we did this, but as a fan, part of me is kind of happy you're now in administration, not because you've had points deducted, but hopefully because you can turn your club around. We avoided this. We were very lucky. And I'm hoping that you guys can also find ownership that can help progress you and maybe, as Birmingham did, that step back into Division 1 will help you rebuild and come forward. So, hey, look, we feel your pain. And I know there are people out there that are laughing like mad, but actually true football fans never want to see this happen to a football club. So let's hope you can resolve it.
Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me on.
So, Tuesday night, firstly, always love midweek games. Under the lights for me, no matter whether you're at home or away, you cannot beat them because there just seems to be this different type of atmosphere. As mentioned, we've got this whole of the stand behind the goal that's going to be full of loud and proud and very raucous Brummies. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect from Sheffield Wednesday. I know you're going to mention our nemesis, the guy that always seems to turn on the style and run the midfield. He sometimes even scores, and I can't stand him because of the fact that he came from that team the other side of Birmingham. And yes, I am talking about Barry Bannon. However, is he the only team or player in your team we've got to watch out for? What do you think we can expect? And ultimately, I know you're going to say we're down in the doldrums, but you've still got players to watch out for. So tell us about them. Who should we watch out for? Dare I say, where's your strengths and where's your weaknesses? I have a feeling you might turn around and go, we want more weaknesses than we have strengths. But, there must be some things there. But yeah, tell us about it and what we can expect.
Yeah, cheers, Craig. I'll be blunt, straight to the point. You can expect 3 points. It's our home form late all season. We've not won a game at home, and we are just bereft of any sort of positivity, any sort of light at the end of the tunnel on the pitch side of things. It's been a well documented awful season for Sheffield Wednesday. Off the pitch, yes, we know what's happening. We are in administration. Real funny thing that for a football fan, a fan of Sheffield Wednesday, to cheer as loud as we did when we went into administration, full well knowing we're getting the minus 12 points. But the ends to a mean is obviously the previous owner of the club is now no longer with us, which is fantastic. Great news for Wednesday fans. It's what a lot have been calling for a good few years.
Yeah, wow.
Quite a while, but like the last year has been pretty toxic at Sheffield Wednesday, and fair play to all them fans that really did take action and force the hand of the owner. So, saying that, he has left us in quite a precarious position on the field. We've got a very depleted squad. We are basically. It's hard to say that we're turning to the kids, because obviously kids do need a chance. They do need to play, but we played Brentford last week in the cup, and our average age was, I think it was 20. The oldest player, the captain, Svante Ingelsson, was 27, and that's it. Portsmouth on Saturday, another much changed team with a couple of youngsters in there, real good prospects, youngsters. But it's just not what we need at the minute. We need first team, regular, seasoned professionals to try and get us out of this hole. Help try and get us some way towards 0 points. I was going to say get us out of this hole, but the all likelihood is we are going to get relegated. But it's how we go down now. I think more for me personally that. We do show a bit of fight, a bit of spirit, and at the minute it's a hard watch, Craig. So Birmingham fans come in. Obviously, you mentioned yourself a brilliant following coming on a Tuesday night. Even though it's only just less than 2 hours, it's still good to get 4,500 on a Tuesday night, and it's it'll make Hillsborough, which has been really. Quite a hard place to go to as a Wednesday fan. It'll make it a great atmosphere. So Birmingham
between the clubs as well. That's it's the one thing we're both old school working class football clubs, right? There's no beating around the bush. You'll never see, for me, a Wednesday fan or a Birmingham fan going, we're bigger than what we actually are. Now, Birmingham, we've got a bright future. We've got owners now that have come in. They set the stall out from the beginning, and they have well and truly followed up on everything that they've said. And yes, we've got some positives, but also we've got the negatives. I mean, you're talking there about not winning at home. We've won one game away from home. I think in the league form, we're probably still bottom of the away form league. Yet at home, we are the polar opposite, and it's hard to put our finger on why. We really don't know. Look at Saturday, and first half, if it wasn't for the woodwork, we could well have gone in 3-0 down. If it wasn't for another save from Beadle, which was absolutely outstanding, it could have even been more. But we went in 1-0 down. We came out second half, and as Greavesy used to say, it's a game of two halves, and it certainly was. We came out and we fought, got back into the game, and could have taken 3 points. Our issue again, though, is we can't score goals for love nor money. It's Stansfield coming off the bench looked, a lot better. He has been, I think, a little bit tired. He has been injured, so it was good to see him coming back on the field. But we got Kyogo that, wow, I reckon, do you know what I mean? I reckon you could pass the ball to him in front of an open net, and at this present moment, he would still miss. It's that the fans are beginning to turn, I think, against him a little bit. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. I gut instinct is he won't start. I think we'll see Stansfield starting this time, but we can come on.
Sorry, Craig. We're the same. We splashed out anywhere between 2.5 and 3 million for Ike Ugbo, and he's not scored a goal since, I think it must have been. I don't think he didn't even get one all calendar year last year. So, no, he got one in the League Cup early rounds, but not in the league. He's not scored for about 50 games, I think, something like that in the league. Something absolutely ridiculous. So we are exactly the same. We cannot score goals. We've got Bailey Cadamartri up front, who's leading the line on his own, who doesn't look. I don't know if he looks fit or if he's just knackered, and do you know what I mean? Because a lot of our players are playing a lot of minutes because of the situation we're in, and he's 20, 21. He's still learning his trade, but that is one of the big problems for Sheffield Wednesday as well. We've got you did mention Barry Bannon, and in the news in the last couple of days, there's talk of him leaving. So not before Tuesday, no doubt, but there is the talk. There is even Championship clubs from Scotland are circling round.
I'd heard the Scottish clubs, and to be honest, the thing with Barry Bannon is he does a job. As much as I'm saying we can't stand him. We can't stand him because actually, when he does turn it on, he's a half decent player. And actually, I do recall times when Birmingham have been linked, and I've thought to myself, would I or wouldn't I? Actually, I've got to say, I like that sort of tenacity. So I probably, I'd probably take him. Other fans would say no to that, though.
Yeah, there's two thoughts there, isn't there? There's obviously Bannon, the player, and what he can offer your starting 11, and then there's the Bannon who's previously played for, and that for Birmingham fans, same for Sheffield Wednesday, and no doubt Sheffield United fans if a player crossed that at other end of the city, you'd get that. But yeah, he has been a great servant for Sheffield Wednesday, no doubt. But he is 36 years old. He signed a 1 year, I believe it was a 1 year contract in the summer, and said he wanted to finish his career at Sheffield Wednesday. But things off the pitch, and I'm going to take his toll on him. He's 36 years old, and he's carrying a lot of the players, and he's playing virtually every minute as well. So it's a hard one.
It does take its time in the end. And it's interesting you mentioned the youngsters, because actually I think when Birmingham were in that position and we were relegated that couple of seasons ago, we were in a similar situation where the players coming in, we were crying out for experience, but instead we were getting these youngsters and we were trying to embed them or give them their opportunities whilst they were on loan. And the thing for me is, a youngster is great and they can set the world alight, but you've got to have the experience around them to help steady them and keep them grounded. Because, I mean, come on, we've seen it with every team. You can have youngsters that come in and are absolutely flying, and then people lose their heads, become too big for their own boots as such, and then lose and go off the rails. So I think it's great that you are embedding the youngsters. I also do understand that that's because of, like you say, the match time that other players are having to take because you're under that embargo. You can't do anything. If anything in the window, I would say, am I right in thinking it's only an out? You're not going to see anything coming in, or can you do anything?
No, we've in the last week, I think it was Thursday actually, or it might have been Friday. We did announce our first choice goalkeeper, Pierce Charles, who is an outstanding talent as a goalkeeper, Northern Ireland international. He had been out for a while with a shoulder injury, and then he went off against Brentford with another shoulder, the other shoulder. So he's out for between 6 to 8 weeks. So we've had to bring in another emergency loan goalkeeper, who is Murphy Cooper from QPR. He'd been on loan at Barnsley for the first half of the season. What we saw of him on Saturday, very capable young goalkeeper. No complaints, really, at the minute. And then we brought in Jaden Heskey, the son of the great Emil Heskey.
I'll never knock Emil because he was obviously he turned out in blue. So he did turn out in claret and blue as well. So, but we can forgive him because he turned out in blue.
So we managed. So I believe they're the only two emergency loans that were allowed. There is talk of Harry Amass, a left back from Man United, who we had on loan at the first half of the season. Outstanding player. He may be able to come back. There's talk. So yeah, there's no fees or anything. So I believe if Amass comes and Heskey are being paid for by the respective Manchester clubs. So yeah, we are up against it. We seem to be getting a lot of injuries as well, which is not helping. So Tuesday night, Birmingham coming to town. You're gonna see a much changed team from the one that faced you at St Andrews, where we nearly got all 3 points, which would have gone down a treat.
It took us 99 minutes to get the equaliser. I didn't want to mention that. The only thing I will say is he's a blessing for you. So Damari Gray scored that equaliser. He's injured at the moment, so he will not be playing. The only thing is we have just signed and was announced at the weekend John Solis, who is Colombian winger. So he no doubt may well get a start and may see him. And obviously, I've already talked about Patrick Roberts getting that equaliser, but my God, that kid is good. He's playing out on the wing at the moment, but I think he could naturally play as a number 10, and he's just such a workhorse.
Hate him.
Phenomenal.
Hate him. You're on about things better, but obviously he played for the Sunderland team that beat us in the playoffs. So he seems. You have those players, don't you? That you know the name, you look for the name, and he always seems to score against you. It doesn't matter who he plays for. He always seems. And Patrick Roberts is one for Sheffield Wednesday fans that sticks in the throat a little bit when we hear him. So for him to be,
does that mean we need to protect him because he's going to be taken out in the first couple of minutes? Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he probably not, because if we took any player out, it'd probably end up with our centre half needing stitches and going off, or the midfielder turning an ankle or something like that. Because that look for us at the minute with the players is about it. It's look, I mean, go back to the gut wrenching draw at St Andrews. We had a young striker playing, George Browne, who's out injured himself. So we are playing the youngsters, but we are seeming to injure them as well. So we've got George Browne who's out. I think he's out for another couple of months. We've got Ernie Weaver, who's an outstanding centre half talent as well, who's out injured. I think he's out for the rest of the season. We've got Yusser Alau, who's caught in Liverpool, Man United, and a couple other Premier League teams. He played really well, first league start on Saturday. He come through that all right, but he got took off prematurely, took off on the 60th minute. So I don't know if that was to protect him or because he's 17 and he couldn't have the sponsor on the front of his shirt, that type. We like these type of stories, don't we, where they come. But yeah, it's going to be a much changed team, and honestly, it's I expect, or I fancy that a lot of Birmingham fans have looked at this going, right, Tuesday night, can I really be bothered to go to... No, it's Sheffield Wednesday. It's going to be 3 points. It's going to be a second win on the road. So we're going and we're going to see it. So it's awful talking like that as a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but I'm a realist. It's going to be a tough evening.
I think so. I mean, you've mentioned a few players there. I mean, how can we expect...
Guys, it's no use putting it off. The best time for an underwear refresh is now. Tommy John underwear is designed for a perfect fit that stays put all day. There's zero chafe thanks to 4 times more stretch than competing brands. And their innovative horizontal quick-draw fly is a game changer. With over 30 million pairs sold, there are thousands of men out there more comfortable than you. Don't settle for less. Go to TommyJohn.com today for 25% off your first order with code COMFORT. That's TommyJohn.com/comfort. Tommy John. Comfort perfected.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free premium delivery on any bed with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
The team to be set up to play against us, or is it literally? I mean, we used to call it the Lee Clark game of bingo because you just wouldn't know from game to game what the formation was going to be or who the players would be. Is it really that bad, or can you pretty much? Do you reckon you could name your first 11?
I probably couldn't. I could have a good go. The formation will probably it'll be 3 centre backs turning into a 5 at the back. Then we'll have two in midfield, Bannon, and it was the Jarvis Thornton on Saturday. And then it'll be a 3 up front, but it'll be like a Cadamartri or another with Ingleson and Jamal Lowe probably supporting. That is how we'll set up. Pedersen has very, very rarely deviated from that. So because of the personnel as well, it's not like we've got, like I said, the depth of the bench. It's getting a little bit better, obviously bringing these couple of players in, but there's a set way he can play because of who he can play as well. So he doesn't deviate from that very often. He's been accused of making substitutions really late on, or first, like. It was good because he made a triple substitution on 62 minutes on Saturday, which is one of the earliest he's done, but he's usually been 80, 85. And we're 1-0, 2-0 down already. So Pedersen has been questioned on his substitutions. Now, don't get me wrong, like I say, we're struggling for players, so the bench is really weak. But you've got players that have been playing 9, 10, 11 games, 70, 80, 90 minutes, probably 8, 9 players doing that every week in, week out. You've got to be changing it. And Pedersen has been accused of probably holding on to the starting 11 for too long without making changes. So,
and the festive break as well. I mean, everybody loves the festive break because it's the festive season. But actually, as a player and as a manager, I reckon they hate it because it's either you're in there for those 4 games and it doesn't matter. You're gonna be there. You're gonna start. You're gonna play. Doesn't matter. Or actually, some teams can afford to go and rotate their squad a little bit and still have that strength to get a result. I mean, I wish, as daft as it sounds, I could say that about Birmingham, but we are threadbare. We've lost players. You know, Lyndon Dykes going to join Charlton. Keshi Anderson terminate his contract at mutual consent with the club, so we've lost him. And we went into the weekend and we were short. And in fact, over the past couple of games, you know, we've had youngsters on the bench that they're there to make up the numbers. You know, you can see some of them potentially getting on the pitch, but it's going to be one where if they're having their opportunity, you're going to have to be 2-3-0 up, allowing those teams and those players to not have the pressure on them. So It is going to be interesting. You know, I honestly, I couldn't tell you what the team will be from a Birmingham perspective because they do swap and change it about. Davies tends to play with the team. We've only had, I think it's 3 games where actually we've stuck with the same squad each time. So it just shows you there's that. We have got the niggling injuries, you know, Robinson, who was really setting his stall out in centre half, and he's out now for a few weeks. You got players that came back from injury and then back out. So Dimmy Gray, we've mentioned, out. You know, Stansfield is just coming back from Knox. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see on Tuesday night.
Oh, I'm liking what you're saying, and I'm getting more and more confident. No, I'm not. Look, you do concentrate on your own team, and obviously your opponent's coming up, not quite knowing the ins and outs, of course, unless you are a true football nut, of course. So it's good to hear that you are struggling yourselves, and
it's you can't call this division still at this time. You cannot call this division, and I see it really coming down right to the very very end. Unfortunately for yourselves, I think you've said it yourself. You know it's going to be it'd be a miracle if you came away from it. However, the one thing I will turn around and say is almost sometimes the quicker you know what's going to happen and that, basically the realization is we're not getting out of this, we are gone, then actually the team relaxes. And when the team relaxes, that's when I think teams are at their actual, strongest point.
Yeah, I think the biggest result for us is off the pitch. I think it's getting all this out of the way. To a lot of Wednesday fans, the administration process has dragged on too long. I can't say I really know how long it should be, but with the amount of supposed bidders that came in for Sheffield Wednesday, and then a preferred bidder took a few weeks to be chosen, I think a lot of fans were hoping it'd be done by now. Yep. And then you've got the chance if there is money to be spent or money that we could. I know we're still on I think it's still a paying transfer ban till 2027, but that can be overturned with new owners and all that.
So what you put in at the end of the day,
yeah. So I think we were hoping that it were all going to be done and dusted. And like you say, when the inevitable does come, which I'm sure it will, I just hope it doesn't come when we play Bramall Lane. I just hope it's either all done and dusted or not mathematically possible. Then we can, or the new owners can make those plans, solid plans for XYZ for the next season, and hopefully start next season in League One. And it sounds defeatist saying that in bloody January already, but yeah, that we don't have. And we don't have the same pre-season as we did last season. This season, sorry. So we're on a footing to thing, but it's one of those that just hope that 25-26 season comes and goes as quick as it can, and we just enjoy the players we've got who are there at the minute, and try and support as much as possible. And that obviously the next chance of that is on Tuesday night.
Indeed. And good little segue there. So,
guys, it's no use putting it off. The best time for an underwear refresh is now. Tommy John underwear is designed for a perfect fit that stays put all day. There's zero chafe thanks to 4 times more stretch than competing brands. And their innovative horizontal quick-draw fly is a game changer. With over 30 million pairs sold, there are thousands of men out there more comfortable than you. Don't settle for less. Go to TommyJohn.com today for 25% off your first order with code COMFORT. That's TommyJohn.com/comfort. Tommy John. Comfort perfected.
Just in the last couple of minutes, what does your heart say the result will be, and what does your head say the result will be? And you know what? I want to say I don't want to hear the negativity, but I'm pretty certain you're going to go, yeah, My heart says we're going to win. My head says no chance. That's my prediction now. There you go. So go on, fire away.
Yeah, I mean, we on our podcast, us podcasters do our prediction leagues and everything. So we do try and be positive as putting the blue and white glasses on, spectacles on. But yeah, heart, obviously, I've always want Sheffield Wednesday to win. Like you say, under the lights at Hillsborough, it would be fantastic to get our first home win of the season. In front of obviously a good away following would be even better, of course. I just really, I take the negatives you've said, Craig. I do. What Birmingham are going through, I just can't see it, mate. I just can't see us getting anything. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for my head says a 2-0 Birmingham win. My heart would probably say a draw, a score draw, and hope and try and get some goals because we're severely lacking seeing goals at Hillsborough. And then Wednesday fans that do turn up week in, week out, they do need something to cheer. So yeah, yes, mate. It's a hard one, but 2-0 to Birmingham from me.
And I think that's I'll be honest, that's where my head has been going. However, I can honestly say, as a Birmingham fan, our away form is that atrocious that you just do not know what is going to happen. That duck has got to be broken at some point, and I don't mean our striker. What I mean is we really do need to get the 3 points in the league, and I'm hoping, and being there myself, I hope it is there on Tuesday evening. I think I'll stick with the same result as yourself and go 2. And I think what's actually going to happen is I think you'll come
to Wednesday. To Wednesday.
I think you'll come at us, and I think what will end up happening, if anything, is that, dare we say, fitness is what could kill you. And I think it's because, like you say, you can't swap your players about. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Birmingham win, and hopefully seeing, as I did at Blackburn, the 3 points coming home with us.
Sorry, Craig. I mean, I was there on Saturday when we played Portsmouth, and it was an awful game. Both sides awful, and we got sucker punched on the from a corner from us. 3 passes back of our net. I don't know Birmingham. I've only seen you play really at the home fixture when I was there at St Andrews, but you cannot play worse than Portsmouth did because they were awful. Don't get me wrong, Sheffield Wednesday weren't the best, but they were awful, and they still came away with 3 points, and that is some things that you can forgive or not forgive. You can take a good team coming to your ground, playing good football and taking the 3 points, but it was an awful afternoon for Sheffield Wednesday, and probably we beat them at Fratton Park as only a win of the season, and we should have really got at least a draw, but put them under more pressure because they weren't very good at all. So you've got to play better than Portsmouth, and if you do, then you've all chance of taking the 3 points. Well, God, I'm so negative. Any Wednesday fans listening to this are going to be killing me. They're going to come on our podcast and going, get him off. He's too negative.
Thank you for joining us on the away end. And I really, like I said at the beginning, really hope you can turn things around as a club and get yourselves back up there in the near future. Tuesday night is going to be raucous no matter what. There's always a good atmosphere between the two clubs. There's always a good game. And here's to that happening again. Thanks for joining us on the away end, which is sponsored by AMG Logistics and in association with the Birmingham City official supporters clubs, details of which you can find at www.bcfcosc.com or just have a look across the socials for the club. Thank you very much again. And as always, I'll sign off by saying,
Guys, it's no use putting it off. The best time for an underwear refresh is now. Tommy John underwear is designed for a perfect fit that stays put all day. There's zero chafe thanks to 4 times more stretch than competing brands. And their innovative horizontal quick draw fly is a game changer. With over 30 million pairs sold, there are thousands of men out there more comfortable than you. Don't settle for less. Go to TommyJohn.com today for 25% off your first order with code COMFORT. That's TommyJohn.com/comfort. Tommy John, comfort perfected.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free premium delivery on any bed with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.